and thank you for joining in. Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. Hop on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I am streaming YouTube and Facebook, so let me know which one you're watching from. Hopefully no internet problems. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. Okay, I am hopping on a couple of minutes early, so forgive me for that. A lot of you have reached out to me making sure everything was okay with me because I haven't been doing as many live videos or streaming live. I am fine. My husband has some health issues, so we've been going back and forth to doctors. So they always seem to be on Friday or Monday, which is when I'm usually live. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave me comments. Follow me on Facebook, and you'll know when I go live. Even when I'm not live, I do upload some videos. Okay, so you definitely want to check that out. And I know, like I said, I'm a couple of minutes early, but we do have to run off to an appointment, and I want to make sure that I get through this video. So if you could hop on, say hi, let me know where you're from. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Bree. Hey, Judith. Now I know I'm live. The other issue is with all this excessive heat, the internet has been giving me problems, and not just me, a lot of people. So just bear with us all, okay? Good morning, Trudy. All right, so let's get started. First reminder is that the Stampersdelight shop.com has some new items for Halloween and the fall. You see the new orange sweatshirt there. We have a new grab your coffee, grab your tea mug. So you want to check out the shop. The shop does ship globally. I have announced my online class for August, which is with the Cottage, the Gingham Cottage suite. So you're going to want to check that out. All the links will be below. Maybe not right after the video, the live, because I have to hit the road, but right sometime today. And also go to my blog, Stampersdelight.com, and you'll see still shots later on, okay? Want to remind you that I do have the Fun Fold, Sweet Licious Fun Fold Club with Donna Gray, so you definitely want to check that out. Hi, Cheryl, Chris, Roberta, Carol. Thank you all for joining in. And we are going to hop right back on. I'm going to flip the camera. Here is my August host code. It takes a few minutes probably for it to... there we go. It wasn't too clear. So what I'm going to show you, if you'd like to order from me this month, this is the host code to use, okay? I do have a rewards program. For every $50 before shipping and tax, you get a check on your card. Once you fill up the card, you get $25 in free merchandise from me. And you can hold the cards until you collect a couple. Okay, so for today, we're going to do Rustic Harvest on page 48. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous suite. Anybody that watches me knows that I'm so excited that they brought these trays back. So if you're following along, just go to page 48. First, I'm going to show you some samples that I did with the set. And I didn't have a Happy Thanksgiving stamp handy, so I just used everything in the suite. Oh, don't want to show you those yet. Okay, here we go. So here's the first card. And that, of course, is using part of the designer series paper and the gems that come with it. Wishing you a lovely day. You're such a blessing. What a great card for Thanksgiving or any time. Hi, Donna from Canada. Oh, you've had rain. Yeah, we're going to get some rain now. Next couple of days. So there's my first sample. My second sample, I added the leaf that comes with the gems, and I did emboss that, and I embossed it with the Leave Fall. There's the die. You're going to see every time I use those leaves, I emboss them. And again, I'll have still shots later today, probably most likely tonight. Okay, so I did use that embossing folder. And I also used the embossing folder here, if you can see that. You're such a blessing. And of course, I used the different colors, crushed curry. I need more coffee. Cajun Craze and Mary Merlot. The next one is I use the dies that do some embossing there. And there you see that leaf again. And here you see where I've used the embossing powder. And those cute little pumpkins. You're such a blessing. And of course a matching envelope. Gorgeous, gorgeous set. Now, the next one, I actually added something to the stamp set, and the dies are in here too. I didn't show you the dies. There's the dies. Of course, mine are messed up because I've been using them. I added a hat from the Bewitching bundle for Halloween. And I put a little hat on the pumpkin. And of course, we have some ribbons that I used were the natural trim ribbon. And this wider one, the natural finish ribbon. These ribbons here. And of course, later I'll have all the item numbers on my blog. And I use that vanilla and gold, which is my favorite. Okay, so there's another one. Then I decided, you know what? That set is so gorgeous. And with those leaves, how about a nice place setting? You've been missing me. Thank you, Molly. How about a nice place setting for Thanksgiving? So I just took one of my Thanksgiving napkins, wrapped it around this old set, and tied that natural finish bow with the pumpkin and the leaf. And now you have a great place setting for your table for Thanksgiving or any fall dinner that you want to make. So that was just another little quick thing that I did. What I'm going to show you today is the torn paper. I don't really know, other than torn paper, what they call it or what you would call it. But I wanted to try this, and this is, hey, thanks, Win Ann. You do, Kathy. I love it too. So what I did was that torn paper technique, and you tear it and roll it up halfway. And of course, this is, the cardstock is torn, and the designer series paper is under it. And you just roll it with a pen or anything that's a paintbrush will work. And then I'm going to show you how I did this bow. Now, let me just show you something real quick, because most bows, you have little tails here. But I was playing around with it, and I said, let me try this one-step bow. That's what I'm going to call that. There's no tails on it, but you still have a bow. So this is the torn paper, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Now, the opposite of that is using the designer series paper and tearing that, and then showing the cardstock. So you could see the different ways to do that, the different variations. And here I did that same kind of bow with the other natural woven ribbon. Okay. And of course you see that I used the leaves, and of course I embossed those. All right, so let's get started. Let me show you how to do that. It's really very simple. I'm going to do this one first. If I have time, I'll do the second one. But so the first thing is you're going to take a half a sheet of paper of cardstock. I'm just going to fold that. And my bone folder is somewhere over here on the table. There it is. And I'm just going to fold that. Now this piece, and the layers are the normal layers that I use, the standard layers. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. Now I don't want to use a whole piece of cardstock for this, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this piece. I want it to go this way. So I'm going to cut about a 2.5 inch piece. I'm going to do that by 5 1/4, because that's what that piece is right here. Okay, that's 5 1/4. So I want it like that. You can put a whole piece here, but why waste it? All right, so now that I have that piece, I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. Move that out of the way. I'm going to bring in that beautiful embossing folder. I love this one. And I am just going to emboss as much as I can here because I want those beautiful leaves. I think I need my... Oh, I'm good. Okay. Thanks, Janice. Hi, Deb. Hi, Jamie. And now I have those beautiful embossed leaves. And I know you may not be able to see them that well here, but... Okay, so that's going to go right here. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab a sip of my coffee. And we're ready to roll. I'm going to put that over here because I want those to show. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear a little piece on each side. You want to tear towards you, right? Grab enough so that you can take a pen or a paintbrush and just kind of roll it around that. A paintbrush, like a little kid's paintbrush, works really well because, let's see, our paintbrush is too big. It's narrower. And I'm just rolling it as far as I want. Just like that. Now, let's see if that's... Now, of course, if you mail this, it's going to get smushed. So you can actually get that smaller if you want it. And I'm going to show you that I'm just pinching that and I'm just going to roll that up a little bit smaller. Once I get that rolling effect done, I can take my fingers and make it smaller. Thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. Don't forget to tag me. Leave me a comment. Follow me. Everything you can think of. And you have a chance to win the Glitter Goddess mug. I'm going to give that away on August 10th. Okay, now that I have that done, I'm going to bring this piece in. And you see I'm going to line that up. Just like that. Now, if you put a whole sheet back there, you're kind of wasting it. So I want that a little bit further. So I'm just going to roll it just a little bit more. Okay, just like that. Okay, there we go. All right, now on this side, I'm just going to add a little glue. Be careful with the glue because you don't want it interfering with that piece that you just rolled. And I'm going to put that right over here, line it up. And if any piece is showing, you can trim that. I have just a little bit, you can't even see it, so I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to lay that right there. Now, for the bow, what I did was I took a long piece of the ribbon and kind of eyeballed it. And then I just tied this like a long bow right here. And that's what I'm using as my bow. No tails. So the tails actually get glued behind there. Now I don't want to waste that ribbon, so I'm going to go back just a little bit further. Thank you, Deb. Yes, share my videos. That gets you in a drawing. Share, comment, follow, tag on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm everywhere. Okay, so now I take those tails. I make them long. And I'm actually going to glue those behind here. Just another little way of making a bow without the tails, but I thought it looked cute. We're always looking for new techniques, right? So when you flip it over, there's your bow. And if you don't like it flopping around, you can always put glue dots on it. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and layer this right on top of my cardstock. I always go over the ribbon to make sure that it stays. You can see I mushed my little scroll there. Paper scroll card, that's what this is called, okay? I just said that. Paper scroll card. And just roll that back up. Okay, so there's the front of my card. Now I'm going to bring in a piece of Very Vanilla. And let's see if I have a piece already cut. I have a couple pieces here. Okay, so this piece right here, I'm going to bring in that great new embossing tray and everything. Hey, Lucia. Yes, I'm sorry I haven't been live. I explained earlier my husband has some health issues, so we've been dealing with that. But even though I'm not live sometimes, please check out my page because I do upload videos if I can't be live. Okay, so that's the embossing buddy. So you just put that on your paper first, and what happens is this way, the embossing powder only goes where you want it to go. So that was my Versamark. I'm going to bring in my copper. Going to grab those tweezers. Hi, Diana. And then I'm just going to... Hi, Angie. Make sure I have that. Give it a little flick. Make sure I have what I want on there. I'll put that back. You just unscrew this and you put it back into your container. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. And then, of course, this is the brush to help you brush that stuff back into the container, or if anything is on here that you don't want, you can just brush it off. Now, I am going to plug this in, and hopefully I don't short anything in my house. And then I'm just going to emboss this. Once it starts heating up, it does take a few minutes, so you'll see that it gets shiny. And I hit it once from the back to keep it from warping. Once it looks like it's all done, I still give it a once over. There we go. Always unplug your heat tool, okay? That's the best advice I can ever give you. Always unplug it. I've had mine fall off the table and click on, and you don't ever want that. Okay, so now we have that. And I'm going to grab one of those leaves because we want that. Actually, maybe I'll grab... Let's see. I'm going to grab 2 leaves. I might use 2 this time. And, of course, here's those beautiful gems, which I've been using. But this one doesn't have any small ones, so let me grab another one. Hey, Stacy. Thank you. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this one out. So let's just grab this and cut it out. And pull out the dies. I am going to use this banner die right here, which, oh, by the way, you can use for any sentiment, right? This has a stamp to it, but you don't have to. You can take one of your other stamp sets and use this banner. Very gently lay that down. You're late, Linda. Oh, you were canning tomatoes. Ooh, that sounds good. Hi, Lynn from Australia. It's 11 p.m. there. Well, it's 9:14 here in the morning. I'm so happy to be back with you on Friday mornings. As I said, when I get on here live lately, I try to. Okay, so this is... I don't want that on there. Let me get this embossing powder off there. I have my brush. Let me brush that off. I got a little embossing powder on my table. Okay, so we're going to bring that in. That's going to actually get tucked in right here. Wishing you the loveliest day. I have 2 leaves and a pumpkin. So let's bring in that machine again, but I'm going to switch it out. I'm going to do some embossing again. I should have just left it up here. And I'm going to take those 2 leaves. I'm going to put them both on here in different spots, just like that. And then I'm going to run it through here. There we go. Take that out. And they do have holes in them. You can see the little holes right there. So I just hide those. Now for the placemat, I actually used it and tied it with the gold ribbon. But if you don't want to see those holes, you're just going to hide them. I'm going to bring in a pumpkin, which I had already cut out. I am going to bring in my paper pumpkin. My pumpkin pie. I like to start with the dark. I know a lot of people start with the light. For me, I like to start with the dark. And just add some color here, up through here. I'm going to switch and use the other side. Oh, thanks, Angie. Angie said I always show you fun cards to create. So hopefully you checked out my last video with some other fall projects. That was actually with the Gingham Cottage, which is going to be my online class for August. And I showed you 3 fun folds, which are great, but you're gonna get 3 more ideas from the online class. So definitely check my last video out. And of course those fun folds, don't want that dark, I want the light. Can't talk and color at the same time. No worries there. Blends are so forgiving. That's why I love them. Anyway, check that out. And also, if you're out of the country, you're not in the US, you can still purchase the videos of my online classes. If I don't have a link for that, just contact me. But you can get the video only if you'd like. Okay. And there we go with the pumpkin. I'm just going to use my light mossy meadow because that's what I have here. You could use regular markers. I have my blends right up here, so that's why I'm using those. We're going to put those over here. I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to bring some dimensionals in, see if I have new ones yet. Yep, got to use all my... I refuse to open another pack of dimensionals until I use what I have here. Okay, anybody else like that? Because if you open another one, you tend to use that instead. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab this piece. Hey, Catherine. You love this set? Oh my gosh, me too. Don't think, I know, and let me just say this. A lot of people tell me, well, I don't send out a lot of Thanksgiving cards. These don't have to be Thanksgiving cards. What a beautiful fall birthday card. Wishing you your loveliest day. My mother's birthday's in the fall. I would love to give her this card. Okay, so now we have these 2 leaves. Now the thing is, you want to remember to put your leaves in far enough so that they don't hang over there. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. You can use your liquid glue. I'm using my Stampin Seal. If you want another layer behind there, you just cut everything down about 1/16 of an inch. Tuck that one right there. So you see, I have the 2 leaves here, but now I got this pumpkin and I'm going to put the pumpkin over the leaves. So you can see the different variations. First thing before I do that, you know, Winkastella. Gotta have some sparkle. I need to get some new sparkle on my nails. I did this ombre effect, so it looks white and then it goes pink with some sparkle in it. Time to change it up. Okay, so there we have some Winkastella. This is going to get tucked right there. I'm going to use my dimensionals for that. I'm almost done. I can almost open a new pack of dimensionals. Yay! Hey, it's the silliest things that get me going, make me happy. A new opening of Dimensionals, right? Okay, so we're gonna put that right there. And let's see, we got this little sprig here. I think maybe I'll do that too. Let me grab that. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to, because I want to get to the second card before we have to leave. Okay, so I'm not going to put a little sprig on there. I am going to grab some inside paper here. So I got my Very Vanilla. Wishing you a lovely day. You're such a blessing. And of course, you could also emboss that if you wanted to. You use every part of your dimensionals. You go, girl. And now I'm going to grab that leaf, or leaf, however you want to say it. My husband's always correcting the way I talk or speak. And I tell him I'm from New York. What do you want? So is he, but... All right, let me grab a piece of blotter paper. And for those of you that have never watched before, this is our grid paper. I cut it in half because you only need a small piece. This way it saves me time. I don't like the way I did that one, so I'm flipping that over. I did not like that at all. I was talking and it came out a little cockeyed. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to grab that leaf. I'm going to grab my Cajun Craze. And I'm only going to ink it up once, and I'm just going to ink 3 leaves so you can see that you don't need every color of the spectrum, although I would love you to buy every color. You don't need every color. And there's my inside. I am going to glue that. You're new to my class? Well, welcome, Helen. And where are you from, Helen? Oh, wrong card. Let's put that in there. And then I'm going to add the gems, which are right here. Well, I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching me on YouTube. You finished using the one and you open... Yeah, you do the same thing, Jamie? Me too. Because I know me. If I open a new pack, I start using that pack. And I don't want to use that. You can use every little thing. Every little piece. I'm just going to put that right under there anyway. I'm going to grab another one. There's no such thing as too many dimensionals. Let me grab my envelope. Do I have a... let me open a new pack of envelopes. They're right here. Okay, and I'm going to grab that leaf again. I think I'm going to use the Mary Merlot this time. Just because I didn't want to clean it off. And I already closed the other one up. So there I got 3 variations of the ink. And there you have torn paper scroll card. I don't know. I'll figure out whatever it's called. I know there's a few out there that call it something different. They do it a little different. This is my rendition of it. Thanks, Stacy. Hi, Sue. It feels good to finish a pack of dimensionals. You got that right. Okay, so that was the first one. Now remember, that was just using a piece of Designer Series paper behind it. I don't mean to cough while I'm doing these, but you do get hoarse. Okay, so the next one that I showed you is this, basically the same thing. We're just going to do it opposite, okay? So we are going to fold this, and this is crumb cake, by the way. You'll see me use a lot of crumb cake in the fall as my base. I just love it. Then we're going to layer a piece of Very Vanilla, which is the 4 by 5 1/4. And what you're just going to figure out, well, let's do this. I'm going to grab the pumpkins. I'm going to cut it this way because I want my pumpkins going the right way. And I'm going to cut this the same size. So 4 inches. I probably got one cut already, but 4 inches by 5 1/4. I want it the same size as this piece. I'm going to start with this because I want to make sure that I put my leaves where they belong. So I'm just going to pinch each end, tear it towards me, grab something that is small enough. So I'll grab my Stampersdelight pen. I'm going to close this to make sure I don't get any ink on it. And I'm going to start rolling it. Now, if it starts to get small like that, you can just break that piece open so it starts rolling again. Once you get it started, you can actually do it with your fingers. But I like using something like this. Rolling, rolling, rolling. That should be big enough. And you can just flick this with your fingers, okay? You can tear it off if you want, but I like that torn look. So then I'm going to pinch it. Now I'm going to roll it smaller with my fingers or use a small paintbrush end. You can get those at the dollar store. All right. So now when I flip it over or sideways, this is what it looks like. Every card's going to look different depending on the way you tear it. What I want to make sure is You're Such a Blessing fits in there, which it does. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a couple of different colors. I don't know that I'm going to use all these, but I'm going to take that leaf, which is over here. I'm going to ink it, stamp that off, and then clean it because I want to start with my yellow. Sorry, my arms are in the way here. I have my Stampin' Scrub all the way up there. Okay, so I basically know where this starts, right about here. You can measure it if you want. I don't. I'm just going to go all the way around an area here. I don't think that's going to work, but right there, right there, and right there. Okay, now I got the start of it. Let's put that back in there. You can just see the tips of your leaves, which is fine. I'm going to grab my Mary Merlot, and I'm going to put in You're Such a Blessing. Then I'm going to take my Cajun Craze and fill that in. Oh my God, this is so much fun. And I'm just going around and filling that in with some Cajun Craze. Okay, there we go. That's that. Hi, Linda. Hi, Zana. All right, so let's bring this back in. And now this gets glued. Now, obviously, I did a lot more than I needed, but I wasn't sure how much I needed, so I just stamped everything I could. And again, if you don't like that, you can just rip that right off so you can see more of those pieces. There we go. And then this gets glued down onto your card. Whichever glue you're using, I'm using my Stampin Seal. And I am going to lay that right on top. There we go. Now, again, if there's a little piece showing, you can trim that off or just reposition it. I'm going to attempt to trim it because I got just a hair showing that I don't want there. There we go. All right, now I'm going to bring in the ribbon again, and because this is actually my favorite, we're going to do this again. We're going to take that, and we are going to tie that in a bow with some long tails, just like that, and then wrap that around. I'm doing good with time. I might actually be able to... Just going to go right around with this right now. Add all the links before I run all out the door. Okay. I'm going to bring that back in. And just put that on the front. I'll play around with the bow after I get it onto the base. There we go. I'll bring in another one of those pumpkins. I think I might use 2 pumpkins this time. Like that. How's that? And maybe I'll use the leaf just the way it is. I don't know. I just really like them. You're not going to see much of it, so I'll just color these 2 pumpkins. What do you think so far? All right, so we're going to outline this. I'm coloring kind of fast. I'm doing the outline in the dark. I always want to call this paper pumpkin. I'm doing both at the same time. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in the dark again, and I'm just going to do some shading at the top. There we go. And then it looks great, thank you. And then just swirl that color. Remember to use the side of your marker when you're using blends so you don't ruin the tip. I'm going to let that blend together. I'm going to go over it again, but I want to get this second one in there. And then just bring it in and do a little more blending. You don't want harsh lines. So where the dark ends and the light starts, just blend it out a little bit. And if you do it the opposite way, that's fine too. You just don't want harsh lines, okay? Thank you. Oh, I got a couple Lindas on there. Thank you, Linda. Linda and Linda. I'm so happy to be back live where I can chat with everyone. I miss you guys. Okay, Winkastella, which is right here. I gotta have Winkastella. I know. So, who wants a funny story? Okay, I'm going to give you a funny story while I'm doing this. My husband, who, you know, has some health issues right now, was told to wear heavy sunscreen. Well, he couldn't find the heaviest number that he needed, which was like 50 or 30 or whatever. So he went to the store, and the only one they had said number 30 or number 50, Shimmer. He brings it home, and I'm like, Reggie, you realize this has shimmer in it, and shimmer means glitter. Oh, I don't care, because I need to wear a heavy sunscreen. Until he put it on and saw how much shimmer there was in the sunscreen. So I know you can all relate to the shimmer story because we love our shimmer. Okay, now let's see what else we've got here for the last of our dimensionals. I still have some more before I can open a new pack. I think this might be it, though. I think after today, I can open new ones. The pumpkins are pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie blends. Sorry if I didn't say that. Okay, we're going to bring this all the way out to the edge. And then we're going to add some more dimensionals here. Yep, this is the last sheet I can cut up. You'll see me next time with some brand new dimensionals. And that one. I'm just throwing that on there. Okay. Let me grab my take your pick tool. Always use your take your pick tool to get these things off. So much easier. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to tuck that right back there. There we go. Now I'm going to grab and insert. Let me just swing this around. It's not swinging too good. There we go. I need some Very Vanilla and a Very Vanilla envelope. There we go. I should have had those out. Let me clean this off. You're such a blessing. And then, how about You Are Missed? Because I missed all of you. I'm just going to grab the ink here. Maybe just one on each end. Put that on the inside. Add some gems. I want to use up these first, but I need some small ones, which I don't have on that one. There we go. Oh yeah, I do have a couple left, so let's just do this. There we go. Grab my envelope and Cajun Craze. So Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, Crushed Curry, and Mary Merlot are the colors that I used, if I forgot to say them. And there we have another paper scroll card. You can see this one, I actually used my blends on the envelope too. Paper scroll cards. So let's just bring in the cards again and the ones that I've done. There we go. There's the other one. Rustic Harvest is the name of the suite. Absolutely gorgeous suite. No, Molly, I actually was at my niece's yesterday at the pool. And the day before that, I got invited to my friend's pool. So, no, we don't. Our pool is no longer. Okay, we don't have the pool anymore. But I have plenty of friends that have pools. So there you go. There are the cards. And here is the place setting. I hope, and let me flip the camera. Thank you all so much for tuning in and for waiting for me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook. Tag me in any of your posts, especially if you case one of my cards. Feel free to do it. That's a great compliment. And August 10th, I will be giving away the Glitter Goddess mug to one lucky winner that posts and tags and comments and all that stuff, okay? Don't forget about my online classes. And I hope to be back with you live on Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, keep on stamping, Stampers.